Keep your first dates simple, cheap, and close to home. I see guys make this mistake over and over again, in which they invite girls out on a first date on this super expensive, like elaborate date idea. And it's a first date. A girl may not even be interested in you, but because you presented her with this amazing first date idea, she's gonna agree to do it. Like if you invited her out to a concert or like a major like a UFC fight or an expensive dinner. Of course, these girls are going to agree to this date even if they have zero interest in ever getting sexual with you in their entire lives. This is why like it's such a big mistake on leading with your wallet in terms of like trying to buy her affection. No, when you keep your dates simple and cheap, it screens these women out. So the girls that are actually interested in you, not your date idea, end up agreeing to your dates. So you can present them with a cheap, simple date idea, and the majority of dates will agree to it and be like, yeah, that sounds great. Whereas some girls that are just after the money will say like, oh no, that's beneath me. I'm sure we can do better than that. And then you can just screen them out because they're after providers, people that are like willing to spend money on them. And you should be after women that are in it for you, not the date that you come up with. So this is why like having a cheap date idea saves you so much time and effort, and it actually makes sure that the girl is interested in you, not what you can provide for her. Not only that, but because there's little to no money spent, the girl can relax. You can be like less formal. It's not like a strict date. She can be herself. She doesn't have to act like the perfect princess, which is like what she's going to happen when you spend a lot of money on her. She's going to put on her best, facade. So why would you keep your dates simple? It's the same kind of deal. You want them simple because the more steps that you involve in your date, the more things can go wrong. Unexpected things happen all the time. So you want to have things very basic and very simple, so there's fewer things that can go wrong in it. And of course, the last and most important part is having dates that are close to your home. This is going to be like the biggest return on investment, because the closer your date is to your home, the easier it is to transition back to your house. So the date's going well, it's easy to say like, hey, I've got food back at my place. Let's go make some food and watch a movie, whatever, watch a TV show, whatever. Just hang out there. Whatever you have planned, whatever kind of excuse you have, it's very easy to transition back to your place when it's like 5 minutes away, a walk, 5-minute walk away from it. As opposed to if you like lived 45 minutes away and you got to drive, you go on your date and then you've got to drive 45 minutes to get back to your place. It's just dumb. Not only that, but it makes things way more convenient for you. Girls will flake, girls will be late all the time. This helps in terms of like, it doesn't even matter if they flake or if they're ever late. It's 5-minute walk from your house. No big deal. Like, hey, yeah, no big deal. I'm at my place. Okay, with that said, what are some actual date ideas that you can use? And that's going to depend on where you live. After all, the most important part is that you have dates that are close to your home. So you have to look at taking an audit of your like housing situation and find out what's close to your home that is simple, cheap, and could like potentially make a good date. Some things to consider. If you have a really nice park like in your area, or kind of like a nice area to walk around in or sit and look at the view, great. You can grab a coffee and take a walk to that special spot, that park that you have. Great first date. It's an easy transition back to your place. Another one, you can take her grocery shopping. I know, it sounds super boring, but it's not. You actually take her grocery shopping with you, and then you make food back at your place and have her help make food. Direct her, touch her, and you both make a really good meal, and you both really get to know each other, and you get to touch her and, make things more comfortable for her. Like any date idea, It can sound super boring, but it's up to you to make it, you know, thrilling. And what makes it thrilling is the sexual tension that you bring, touching her, you know, asking her questions, relating to what she's saying. All those things are what makes a great date, not the actual date itself. You can do like, have her run errands with you. Have her like meet you close to your house and be like, I just got to pick up a few things, hop in the car. And you hop in your car and you run around, like you drive around to different areas, you know, picking up the things that you need, the errands that you need to run. And you ask her questions, you touch her, you make things like, you build sexual tension, you get to know her, you relate to her. Again, it doesn't have to be an elaborate date. It's just got to be, it's up to you to make it a really good date. And you do that with like talking, touching, relating to what they're saying. You can grab like a coffee, frozen yogurt, anything that's like close to your house, but don't just sit at that location. Grab it and then take a walk. The reason for this is because when you sit in a location, especially if it's, you know, busy and there's lots of people around, it's a bad environment for, you know, people to open up. As if you're gonna like reveal like intimate details about your life when there's people all around listening in. And not only that, like you're gonna be super guarded. The girl is gonna be guarded when there's a bunch of people listening in. So even if you invite her home, the odds of her saying yes are pretty low because she's worried about what other people are thinking about her. So whatever you do, try to like make the date with as least amount of people around as possible, preferably just you and her. So when you grab your coffee or you grab your frozen yogurt, grab it and then take a walk where it's just you and her. That's what the date should be focused on. Getting to know her and her getting to know you, you touching her, you escalating things, and without having other people listening in and potentially judging her. Good dating options are abundant, especially if like, yeah, you live in a fairly central location where you just have to get creative and look around and see, you know, what their opportunities are for a good date. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.